All right, welcome everyone. Let's do this. I just got my coffee, my nice Trading View mug. Man, I love this mug right here. Thank you, Trading View. Not sponsored content. However, somebody who's actually sponsoring these live streams is PrimeXBT. So if you like what I'm doing, if you want to trade on a awesome exchange which has Crypto and Forex, check out the link in the description below where you can get some good deals on that. Also, look at my face. Look at it. I have a new camera. I know you're not very interested in this probably, but if you are, check this out. This is a Canon M200. It's a mirrorless DSLR. This is the one I used before. Look at that. So I showed my fiance this, and she's like, yeah. She's like, you're not looking as good anymore. It's like you look old. She's like, you have much more of a baby face in this one, which I kind of agree with, which kind of sucks, you know. So now I'm like, I feel like I'm more grown up, you know. I can see all the small details in my face. Anyway, in today's live stream, and by the way, I did this upgrade for you guys. I want to do more YouTube videos. I'm going to do more YouTube, you know, educational, professional videos with, you know, professional quality and, you know, professional sound quality of the, like, everything. I just want to do like professional stuff. I know, you know, you're whatever. This live stream today is going to be an example of what we do in the RLZ Trading Room. So usually these live streams that I'm doing right now, these market updates and stuff like that, is private for the community members, right? And my thank you, man, Hans, a long-term follower. I do appreciate you, man. I do appreciate every single one of you. Birthday yesterday was beautiful, fantastic, pretty intense. I bought him a RC excavator, like this Volvo RC digger, like really cool stuff. Expensive, way too expensive for a 5-year-old. And he breaks everything, so he's probably gonna break it. Like, I know. He breaks everything. God damn it. So we're gonna be looking at the charts here. That's not the chart. That's me. So I'm not going to be looking at that. We're going to move that here, and we're going to be opening. Which one are we going to be opening? Not this one. We're going to be opening this one. That's the one we want to be looking at. So like I said, these live streams right here is something I'm going to do regularly inside the RLZ Trading Room. If you're interested in getting more information about RLZ Trading Room, there are links in the description below. However, they don't work because the website is not live yet. We are working on getting that set up. We want to make sure that it's high quality and everything works before we, you know, go live with the website. But the actual Trading Room community is launching today. So I'm going to show you guys a little bit of what it's all about. So we have in the RLZ Trading Room, we first of all have, let me see if I can actually, I don't want to show you all the channels. Let's do this. Right. So you can see right here, we have first a trading program. And inside this trading program, it's super secret. So I'm not going to be opening this tab right here. But we have, you know, for the program members, you know, I have a 2-month trading program going on. So the members of that program gets all the updates for the program, all that in these channels, and I have chats. And then this is the trading room where we have basically, this is the live, the main chat room of the trading room where we all get together and discuss the markets, ideas, and all that kind of stuff, right? And then I have a market update channel where I post daily market updates. So every day, sometimes multiple times every day, I'm going to be doing videos, almost like this one that I'm showing you right now, but it's going to be more like short 5 to 10 minute video where I go through the forex and the crypto market with the best looking altcoins and forex trades during the day. And also it's going to be much more than just market updates. It's going to be like everything, you know, everything I look at in terms of fundamentals and technicals. It's going to be general trading journal review breakdowns. It's going to be, you know, tips and tricks from my own trading career and stuff like that. So everything that's like my personal space inside the community, this is where I share everything that I think is of value to you guys as traders. And of course, we have a trade ideas section where all the trades I take personally is going in here. This is sort of my personal trading journal, right? So every trade I take goes into this channel. It's basically me trading publicly, right? And then we have the alert bot, which is a beta channel right now, but we're working on getting the indicators set up, you know, to be able to provide you guys with the possible trades. And basically these signals, it's these ones, right? You have a long signal right here on one, you have a short signal. These signals are going to be forwarded to the Discord channel. So every altcoin that's available on PrimeXBT is going to get forwarded to this channel, as well as all the major and minor Forex pairs, and of course, including in the crypto is going to be Bitcoin and Ethereum as well. And this is actually a really good market scanning tool for me. It's not it's not going to give you a signal to buy and sell right away. So when you get a signal on this one, it's not going to be like buy here right now and sell. It's more going to be like, so you can look at this AUD NCD signal right here. So this is a short signal on AUD NCD, and I also right here check confidence with the RLZ slingshot system. And that's the system I'm trading. That's the system I'm teaching the program students, and that's also the system I'm going to be focusing on in the trading room, because it's the only setup I'm trading. So if you look at the AUD NCD chart now, because this is beta, you'll see that the chart doesn't really look that good. There's not a lot of signals, but it gives you an idea. And if you look at this chart right here, it basically gives you an idea of what the trade might be. And you'd see that it's a downtrend. It's getting rejected up to the 20 EMA and the 4 hour. That is where we might have a trade. Now, looking at this right here, I don't think this is a very good trade, right? But we can still look at it live to see if we can make anything out of this. So this was AUD NCD. Let's take that out. So we got AUD NCD right here, and we'll see if we did get a short signal right here. Some short signals in the channel will not be a short signal on my chart because of the fact that we're still, I'm going to be, I've upgraded the indicator that's on my chart, but not providing the signals. And that's something that's coming later this month. We did have a short signal here on AUD NCD. And honestly, I think it does look pretty decent. We've got rejected at the 20 EMA in the 4 hour. We've lost the weekly open. It does look interesting right here. The problem I'm having with this one is the fact that, a major part of my trading and a major part of my system is the fib levels, right? It's the fib levels. So the fib levels have to align for this to be a trade. And it means that I'm missing out on a lot of trades. I'm missing out on a lot of trades. I do, however, think that the trades that I do take is higher probability. Now, when you're putting fibs on your chart, you obviously want to have clear moves. A lot of people they look at a move within a trend, and they look at a move within a trend, and they try to kind of fit the fib levels to the trade idea, which is obviously problematic. So if you look at this move right here, that's the obvious high, and that is the obvious low. By the way, guys, if you like these breakdowns on everything that I'm doing here, please hit that like button. Even if you hate me, hit that like button. That would be very much appreciated. If you hate what I'm doing, you could maybe hit the like button and then block me. Please don't block me. So that's, this is the perfect high, and that is the perfect low. So you obviously want to fib that move. Now, when fibbing that move, and the fibs I use in my system is the 50% and the reload zone. So the reload zone is the 0.786. The area between the 0.786 and the 0.618. That's the reload zone. That's the most important part of my trading. But we also have added the 50%. The 50% fib is something I've added this last year, I think, this year maybe. And so that's where we're going to want to get the rejection, right? And there's nothing close to that, right? Now, what we can do is we can go into the 1 hour and see if we have like a very, very obvious move on the 1 hour. And there's nothing here, right? There's nothing here. This is one very solid trend on the 1 hour as well. So there's no obvious moves here on the 1 hour. And if you're going to put fibs on the 1 hour, you obviously have to look at the at the fractal nature of price action, where you have on the 4 hour. This is one move. Right, this right here, that's one move. And this is the definition of price action being fractal. So when I say that price action is fractal, this is what I mean. You have one move on the 4 hour. You have one high and one low. On the 1 hour, however, this 4 hour move right here has many highs and many lows. It's a trend. So the single down move on the 4 hour is a trend on the 1 hour with multiple highs and multiple lows. I'm pretty sure this is fairly clear to most of you, but it's really important to repeat these basic trading fundamentals, because that's what makes any trading system. So if you have not been able to catch up on the basics of trading, you're going to have a very hard time when you start adding all the indicators to try to find the confluences. Because honestly, I really do think that 99% of all the trading systems out there is based on one very, very simple thing. And let me show you what that is all about. Could you maybe guess what that could be? Like, it's one thing that every trading system out there, I would say 95% of all the trading systems out there have one thing in common, right? And that is what I've based the RLZ slingshot system on. So, all right, so listen, guys, there's going to be people out there that's going to try to sell you systems, right? So you go on YouTube, you're going to search for the best system out there, the best system out there. And you're going to have people trying to sell you very expensive trading systems, and they might be based on extremely complicated ways of trading and complicated indicator. And let me tell you that the more complicated the trading system is, most likely the harder time you're going to have to trade it. So if you have a insane long list of entry triggers on a trading system, it's going to take you too long to figure out if it's a good trade or not. And honestly, I think simplicity is really the key to long-term success in trading. So if you do find the system, and if you do search for a system, try to start at the very, very basics of trading and build on that. And if you get something successful early, you stick with that. Stop adding indicators if you have something that works. You don't fix something that's not broken. So let me show you what that is all about. Markets tend to trend. Now we're going to be looking at this from a trend trader perspective, right? So markets tend to trend. Of course, you also have markets that range, and if you're a range trader, you should probably focus on more like range trading, obviously. But if you have a market that, most markets tend to trend, and I do believe that as a beginner trader, you should focus on trending markets, right? So you have we have a move here. You have a high, a low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low, higher high, higher low. Now that is the fundamental truth of the market, is the market tends to trend. Another fundamental idea about trending markets is that a trending market will continue to trend until the end of trend. Quite logical, quite simple, but these are the things you have to remember. Your idea as a trend trader is to identify the trend, look at the trend, and ask yourself two questions. What is the trend? And also within that question is obviously what's the characteristics and behavior of that trend? And the second question is, how can I participate in this trend while managing my risk accordingly? That's the two questions you have to ask yourself. What's the trend? How can I participate in the trend? And within the first question, obviously there's more advanced concepts like what's the behavior of the trend, what's the fractional nature of that trend, and then inside the second question, you have stuff like how can I participate in the trend and how can I manage my trade effectively and manage my risk effectively within that trend. But to go back to the first thing I talked about, the thing that 95 or 99% of all the systems have in common is a system based on the trending nature of markets and horizontal levels, right? Trending nature of the market and horizontal level. Now, that is the basis of pretty much all type of trading. Now, if that there's two ways you can trade this, right? There's two ways you can trade this. You can be a breakout trader or a break and retest trader. Of course, there's variations of that where you might buy the breakout and you also buy the break and retest, but that's what I keep saying. Trading is supposed to be simple. Try not to overcomplicate things. Now, if you're a breakout trader, I would say that is more complicated than being a break and retest trader. I would highly argue that if you are a beginner trader, you focus on this and you focus on the break and retest. Yes, it's going to be extremely goddamn frustrating seeing something break out and never retest. But guess what? That's what trading is all about. You're supposed to have patience. You're supposed to be waiting. Trading is 90% all about just waiting around until I don't know, like a little golem or whatever comes in and hands you a bag of money, and that little monster is the market. That's a weird thing to say, but like the best traders, they just sit around. They just sit around and they wait for the pot of gold just to appear in the corner of their room. That's professional trader. You're just going to be sitting away, sitting around, waiting for the market to just come along and just hand you a bag of money. You're not supposed to be out there just hunting for setups. This is not about action. It's not about it's just about waiting. It's super boring, right? But that's what professional trading is all about. So you can be a breakout trader. And what do you do as a breakout trader? Well, you have an alert right above the horizontal level. And you either have a buy limit order for price to automatically, you automatically enter the position when there's a breakout. And then you have to obviously secure that position quite quickly, because a breakout is very likely also going to be a fake out without confirmation. You can, of course, wait for confirmation of the breakout and then buy the breakout when there's a 4-hour open and close above the level. But of course, if it's a proper breakout with high momentum, you're going to be missing the move and the risk to reward is just going to be lower. I remember an interview with Peter Brandt. He's a breakout trader, I believe, and he has a fairly low win rate, which surprised me, right? He has a pretty low win rate, but he's quite successful because the risk to reward of his setup is much higher. So if you're a breakout trader, you're most likely going to have lower win rate and higher risk to reward. As a break and retest trader, you're going to have higher win rate and lower risk to reward. But it evens it out. I would say that it's equally profitable. It's just a question of who are you as a trader. And I highly, highly recommend you start as a break and retest trader, and then you evolve into a breakout trader if that's the thing you want to do. I do, however, think that most of you are better suited as break and retest traders based on a swing trading system. And that what you do then is you have an alert right here, which basically tells you now price has broken the level, right? And let's say this is on the 4-hour, right? So price has now broken the level. You're watching the 4-hour. You know that you want like a retest of this level, and you want enough time and space between the breakout and the retest for this to be a solid break and retest system set up based on a swing trading system. So there's time. And I know that, everyone who watched this, probably 90% of you, or 99%, probably everyone who watches this are not trading full-time. You're most likely not trading full-time. You might be watching this during the lunch break on your job. You might be watching this from home, working from home or whatever, but most of you probably have another job that's not trading, right? So for that fact alone, how are you going to be able to buy that breakout when you get that signal if you're at work, right? Are you going to, pause whatever you're doing, flip up your phone, calculate your position and then enter? That's not going to work. What you can do, however, is you can get an alert when there's a breakout. And that alert tells you that, hey, listen, there's a possible set. Not remember, we're trading the 4-hour chart, so there has to be multiple 4-hour open and closes before this becomes a good rounded retest. I would say at least 1, 2, 3, maybe 4-hour candle closes. Now that's a long time. You'll do the math because I can't. It's 4 times 8. It's a lot of hours, you know. So you get an alert, and then like that alert tells you you have a swing trading setup coming up. It's not now, but it might be. You might be able to enter that one when you get home, for work, or in the morning before you head to work. That might be time when this activates itself. That's why I think a lot of people that are currently, you know, having a day job and then trading on the side, you will be much better fit as a break and retest trader based on a swing trading system, just because of that, right? And then when you transition over into becoming a professional trader, you can have the same approach, right? You can have the exact same approach. The difference here is you can do whatever the fuck you want. Like you can get the alert and you're like, you have a possible setup coming up in 16 hours. All right, that's cool. I'll go to the beach. I'll do whatever you want. Like it's such a relaxing way of doing things. Now, of course, I can't do that because I can't just sit around. I need stuff to do. So that's why I've developed the RLZ trading business and community and the program. I need something to do, and I have a deep desire to help people. I mean, before I started trading, I worked in healthcare, and I loved it. Like I hated my job, but I loved the people I worked with, and I loved the idea to actually help people to make their life just a tiny bit better. That's really an insanely good feeling. So to be able to, you know, do this with RLZ trading in a way where I can do what I love and also help people potentially discover something they love as well and help them on the way to becoming profitable. That's a beautiful thing. So coffee, and it's cold. God damn it, I talk too much. So that's the fundamental truth of the market. That's what all trading system is based on. So if you find a system that's just way too advanced and the people trying to teach you this isn't even telling you this, you probably, you know, should learn that before you start trading any system. All right, so let's go through. It's beautiful. I just had a picture in the community of a community member showing his living room floor full of Lego. It seems. I do have a love and hate relationship with Lego. It's I really do. All right, so we got one member of the community that has posted a couple of charts, and I kind of want to go through these, analyze these a bit, see if we have something going on here. And we also have I believe it's Justa, who's looking at, I believe was this ADNCD? No, ADCAT. I do like ADCAT. Let's look at AD. Let's first look at ADCAT. I do like this one. Let's go back here. We got ADNCD, ADCAT. Let's go. Yeah, Lego is super expensive. Like it really is. Like my son got a couple of boxes of Lego. So I'm very, you know, fortunate to have a, you know, my fiance's family all live in this town, and so a big family, and it's just fantastic because they're, you know, getting all together, buying lots of shit. Like I don't even have to buy him anything because like they come along with a lot of gifts, and I think he got like 4 boxes of Lego, which is just, it's a lot of money, man. It's a lot of money. Like one of those boxes, like 1,000 Swedish krone, a big one, right? And that's like around, I believe, like $900. No, $90. Yeah, around $90. Like it's a lot of money. It's a lot of money because, you know, you build them for a couple of hours and they stand there and you play around with them. But my son, he builds them and then he kind of takes them and just throws them in the wall, and then we put them in the box, and he kind of tears up the guide on how to build them. So we have 2 massive boxes of Lego, and that's all we have. I wonder how much that worth. You know, I actually downloaded an app, which listen, guys. I know this is not trading related, but it's just insane. It's called Brickit. So I downloaded an app. You can actually listen to this. Listen. I remember watching that box a couple of years ago, and I told my partner, like, what if you can just take a picture of this pile of Lego? Let's take a picture of it, and the computer will tell you what to buy or what to build. And they've actually come out with a beta version of an app like that, where you take your Lego, place it on like a flat surface, you flatten out the pile of Lego, you take a picture of it, and the AI in the app will tell you what you can build with the Lego, and it's going to give you instructions and everything. It's absolutely mind-blowing. Like, that blew my mind. Some, like, now if you can finally build stuff with it. It's not perfect, but holy shit, like, that is some insane technology. Just take a picture of it, like, you can build this. Wow. All right, shorts. 80 CAD looks like the idea that did look like a solid idea no longer looks like a good idea, mainly because of that candle right there. Now let's see at the 1 hour. So something is going on right here. We have so why am I saying that something is going on? Well, because the market, so this candle right here was part of the, so that's on Sunday, yesterday. That was part of the daily candle. That was part of the daily candle close, right? And that looked really good. I mean, if you'll use the replay function right here and you place it right here, you'll see that, yeah, that looks like a solid short trade right there. I do like that. Stochastics, everything kind of lines. I don't know. You could put the fib here, or depending on what the fib that, could probably use that low. Actually, I don't like that wick, so let's just ignore that wick. And it looks really, really good, right? So in this scenario right here, what I will be looking for is like a move slightly lower and then a break and retest up to 50. It looks really good. But then what happens is this, right? So my first initial thoughts when watching this shot right here, and by the way, the setup is really good. Just to kind of comment on the on this shot right here, and the idea is it's actually really good. Did you enter this one? If you did, I'm sorry, but that's, it is what it is. That is trading. Now, one comment here though, if you look at the 4 hour, and this is so frustrating. This is why it's so frustrating to trade. Like, trading is so incredibly frustrating. You're watching this right here and you're like, this looks good. Let's see what the comment was on this one as well. Yeah, could probably, yeah. So the problem here is, if you look at this chart right here, you'll see that by using this low this high right here, which I do think is definitely acceptable level to use your fib. Now I'm like I told you guys about in the beginning, how you can put your fibs to adjust it to your own liking. But when you have a wick like this, which is completely out of proportion of the behavior of the trend, and when it's like a wick on all time frames, when it's like, I think this was obviously because of a major news event. When this happens, and when using that as well, fits perfectly with the rest of price action. If I'm using that one right here, it doesn't make as much sense as if I'm using that one, right? So we're using that one because it makes much more sense on the historic price action. So that is one time when you can actually adjust the fibs on different highs and lows if it's not perfect. One thing I want to comment on this that I brought here is, you see that you got the 50% right here, and the general idea would be this: you would want to see price get down and close. Like, if this 4 hour candle right here would close down here, then that would be when I put short orders here and stop loss somewhere here. But now what you're getting is you're not getting a candle close below the 50. The 50 area, like this whole area right here, is actually being used as pretty solid support. So if you did buy right here, you're actually buying into an area where you have multiple wicks. There's a lot of selling, buying pressure in here. Obviously, let's look at the 1 hour, and the 1 hour is obviously it's very obvious what's going on in the 1 hour as well. You can see that the wicks on the 4 hour creates a very clear market structure, which tells us that this is support, right? So on the 1 hour, this is highly likely to be a strong support. If you put a box on here, you'll see that you have resistance, support, break, bounce, and also a rounded bottom here and continuation higher. So what I would want to see here is actually like, I would want to see this kind of confirms that there's something interesting going on here, but I would also want to see like a rounded retest of this level right here, and that's where I would put in short orders like this. Now there's a lot of the risk to reward here might not be good, so you'd have to hope that the setup would be getting hit here. Can have the stop loss here, because that would be, I don't know, like an acceptable risk to reward, but not perfect. So let's just not look too much into the details of this one right here. But that's what I would be thinking when watching that chart. All right, so let's look at something else. So this is UK 100. UK 100. By the way, if you wanna screenshot your charts and share it with me in the channel, you can use the screenshot function. So here, I don't know, like it might be easier for you to do this, I don't know, but for me it would typically take longer, because what it looks like right here, like you've saved, it's a screenshot, and it might be fast if you, I don't know, but it looks like it's a screenshot on the PC. What you want to do is you want to go here, you want to press the camera up here. So if you press the camera up here on TradingView and you just copy a link to the chart, you'll have a link to the chart, and you'll just place that and paste that into the Discord channel. That's probably faster, more effective. So UK 100, this is great. I do like this one. This is perfect. This is something I'm watching as well. So basically what we want to see here is we want to see a move down to around the 50 and the 618, and I love this. So this is not the fibs I have on my chart, but I absolutely love that it's actually not. Yeah, yes, hit that like button. Exactly. Hans knows what's up. So these are not the fibs that I teach in the program, and this is a program student, and I think this is absolutely beautiful, because what we're seeing right here is somebody taking the fundamental, the building blocks of the system and adjusting them. And you also have a different type of stochastic RSI. I know Justice, I mean, we can go back to Justice chart. This is also looks, everyone has their personal touch, right? Which is just absolutely fantastic. It's the same moving average and everything, but everyone has their own personal touch. Also with another stochastic RSI here, it's the same fibs, but then Pop Rally here has different fibs and it's slightly different stochastic RSI. And I have a very clean, look at my chart, I have a very clean, and also I replace most of the moving averages I use with the indicator, which most of you are probably going to get access to, at least the program student. We haven't really decided how we're going to be structuring that, but I have it very simple. Just try to keep it as simple as possible. But then you have others who try to put their own personal touch on it, and probably it's because this makes more sense to them, which is exactly how it's supposed to be. Anyway, we're watching a move down to the 20 EMA and 4 hour, and this horizontal level. And remember what I said, like 95% of all the system out there is based on a very simple idea of horizontal levels and break and retest. So this is it. I mean, you can remove everything. You can remove all drawings from the chart and still see that this would be a good break and retest system. Now, all of this, the moving averages, the fibs, the stochastics RSI, the monthly open and the weekly open, they're not there to give you, buy and sell signals. It's not like, in the beginning, we look for that one indicator. We look for that, what's the best indicator to use in trading, and we try to find the absolute best indicator that you can use to become rich in trading. but there's no one indicator. It's just trends. It's just horizontal levels. That's all it is. You know, that's what the market is all about. Now you add these to add certain, you know, higher or lower probability of this bounce working out or not. So for example, if you get a bounce here, or if price hits this level with the stochastics RSI above 70, I would say that it's a lower probability that it's going to bounce as compared to if stochastics were down here. So if stochastics is up here on the bounce, there's a lower probability of a bounce, but if it's down here, there's a higher probability of a bounce. Now, if price bounces here, or price starting to bounce here, I think I would say that according to my back testing, I would say that it's a lower probability of seeing continuation to the upside than if price would hit this level, where you might at the time also have the 50 EMA in the 4 hour, the 618, and everything like that. Now, if you also have the weekly open in this area, that also adds confidence to the area, and the chances that price will move higher is higher. Now, the weekly open in this case, if the weekly open would be here, you could use the weekly open to kind of manage your trade in terms of take profit. You might want to enter here, but then take some profit at the weekly open instead of the 0, because chances are that the weekly open, usually, especially on like if it gets retested on Tuesday or Wednesday, like the first retest after Monday open, you usually see a rejection, right? So the weekly and monthly open is great to have to manage the trade, but we don't need them. Right? It's very important to note there. We don't need any of these indicators. We don't need any of these indicators. However, what we do need is an idea of what trends are and how trends work, and how the markets move, and what the behavior of the trend is and horizontal level. That's what we need. It's important to remember that. So you can't find one indicator that works. Like, a lot of indicator works for this. These are just the ones I use, and I find them to work well based on my back testing. NCD-CHF, this is also a good one. I would have wanted to have like a bigger retest, a more rounded retest right here. So we have the wicks testing here. I would like that to be more of a clean breakout. I do like this. This looks interesting, but this level has already been tested. Stochastics RSI is not really ready. So if I had to choose just one setup to take today, it would probably not be this one, even though I am looking to perhaps maybe enter this one. If you get like around the bottom here, 4 hour bullish engulfing, that would be nice for NCD-CHF. Litecoin, yeah, I do like Litecoin, and we haven't even looked at Bitcoin right now or any other markets. We're just looking at some community members charts right here, but this is a good it's quite telling what's going on right here. And we're probably seeing Bitcoin retracing, and altcoins as well. And yes, Litecoin would be a good possible trade here. However, again, same thing with this one. Maybe I would want to have a bigger move to the upside, because it also looks like a range. So this might not even be a trending market. It kind of looks like a range at the top of a trend, which highly likely is a distribution range. So you want to be careful with that. This kind of looks like possibly this could be like range high area, range low area, and you're actually buying a bounce on the middle of the range, which might work as well. That's one part of trading this system as a range trading system, is if you find a trend and then a range within that trend, you can buy the break and retest of the range EQ in the direction of the overall trend. But I don't trade like that, but it's definitely possible to do. AXS, this is the same thing here, but obviously a reason not to take the trade is because price is below the daily 50 EMA. So it might be a good trade, and I would wait for a break and retest of the 50 like that. But the daily 50 is just, I want price to be above all the major moving averages, which is the daily 20 and 50 and the 4 hour 20 and 50 EMA. So yeah, this is the same one. So below daily 50. That's mine. That's nothing. Right, so let's look at Bitcoin. Let's go see what we have on Bitcoin. It's already been 40 minutes, so I'm going to be trying to end this in not too long. So I will be going through this market. Look at this, absolutely beautiful. So this is the chart we looked at, and I posted this on Twitter. Did I not Twitter? No, I posted it in community. So you see here in the market update update channel, I have a couple of charts here on Bitcoin. So what we looked at here on Bitcoin, and what I said was basically so this was on Friday, I believe, and I said, strong breakout yesterday. The breakout area aligns perfectly with the fibs. This is the area we're interested in, and we're going to trade this. It has the potential to be a great setup, so let's monitor this. Hopefully it happens on Monday morning, but probably later, probably earlier. Hopefully it happens on Monday morning. Now, what's the day? It's Monday. Is it morning? Well, pretty much. So it's happening right now. It's happening as I wanted it to happen. And we can look at the Bitcoin chart here as I posted in the community, and you'll see what the whole idea was all about. And basically, I posted this here, and you'll see that we had a high up here, and we saw price. It was like on Saturday, whatever. So we saw price coming down, and this is obviously the obvious level. And now look at this. We have a somewhat of a trending market, horizontal levels. That's all it is, right? Now price is down here. We have the stochastic sign in the right area. Now, really, for me to think that this will be a really good setup is to see a reclaim of the weekly open and the slingshot cloud, as I'd like to call it, which is this one right here. So the indicator, I'm going to rename it probably to RLZ slingshot or the slingshot cloud, something cool and corny. Anyway, so what we might want to see now, like, I hope it takes a maybe 4 or 5, maybe 8 hours or so. I want some more time down here. I want price to form a nice rounded retest. So we want to give the market enough time to kind of form a good retest here. I don't want it to happen too quickly. Like, a good example of that is this. Like, this is a great rounded bottom in the 4 hours. So we want multiple candles to kind of confirm down here, and then we would want to see a break and retest of the weekly open right here. And that this is also a good reason why we have the weekly open on the chart and how we want to use it, right? So the stop loss would be probably below here. TP1 front running the 0% fib. That would be the trade that I would be looking at today on Bitcoin. But we had to wait for the break and retest of the weekly open. The weekly open is quite high, so I don't think there's like a very high probability that this will work out. Actually, I think we're probably just going to go lower. But if this works out, this is the trade we're looking at, and this would be traded TP1 at the range highs right here. So if you zoom out, you'll see that white dotted line is the range. Actually, it's range EQ of the major high time frame range. If we break above the range EQ, I mean, there is, if we reclaim the range EQ here on Bitcoin, which is 22K area, there is a possibility of us going to 25K. Because if you, let's see, I posted something on Twitter about this one right here. So we do have a major daily range forming right here, and we also have inside that range kind of looks like a W pattern. And if we reclaim that EQ, we could come up to 25K, and that would kind of complete the double bottom. Now, obviously, that would be high time frame resistance, and the confirmation potential or the reversal potential of this W, there would be to have to be like a daily rounded retest of the 25K area. So I would absolutely TP at 25K. If we get an explosive move on Bitcoin this week, I would absolutely TP around 25K, because the chances that we're going to be breaking through 25K like it's nothing is very low, very, very low. But that's Bitcoin. That's the idea on Bitcoin. And because we are watching this on Bitcoin, that's probably going to be a lot of altcoins that are showing a similar idea. Wow, EJLD absolutely moving lower. And also something that I wrote in the market update on Saturday is this, right? So because of the fact that BTC could very well retrace back down to the breakout area, we want to find altcoins that has not yet come down to support, because if Bitcoin drops lower, the altcoins already at support will likely drop lower as well. and at that point the long idea is invalidated. So EJLD is a great example of that. EJLD was at support when Bitcoin traded lower, and it broke down. Now, one chart that I have mentioned here is one. So let's look at one. This is one. And this is what we watch. So I said, look at all coins that have space to retrace. Now let's look at what one is doing right now. It's here, right? So it's actually around this support area. So if Bitcoin started retracing down to the breakout area, and so did one. And all the coins that were already at resistance or at support, the ones at resistance probably had a good short setup. Well, I don't know about this one. Wow, crazy. But anyway, this would be long. We can look at Algo. Algo is also another one which is following the idea somewhat nicely. Vu was one of those. I said this was at support, and it completely broke down with Bitcoin. Same with EGLD. But I do think that one is a good, possibly one of those altcoins we want to be watching. Now, what are we watching here? We're watching what we're waiting for is a break and retest of the area around the 50%. So somewhere around here, that would be the trade. Now, you might be wondering, why am I waiting for break and retest of the 50? There's already been a break and retest, and you're absolutely correct. There's already been a break and retest. This is a great idea that this is a good example. You might want to take this as an immediate retest of the reload zone coupled with horizontal support and resistance. But basically, I've tested this idea quite a lot, and I found that the win rate is lower on the setups that look like this, but the risk to reward is higher. So you might like, if this is a bullish engulfing candle, actually the risk to reward could be the same. The only thing here is, if you enter here, you're in the trade, and if there's no break and retest, you're still going to be making money on the trade. But if you're waiting for the break and retest, it's actually quite likely that you'll miss out on the trade, because prices might break above the 50 and never retest the 50. So you might just miss out on that. But I think this is a much less stressful way of trading. You're teaching yourself to wait. You're teaching yourself to be patient, and basically this would be the trade. So it would pretty much be the same risk to reward as if you would be buying a 4-hour bullish engulfing inside this area. And this is a decent trade. I think this aligns quite nicely with the Bitcoin idea as well. So I do think that which one? Yeah, Algo as well. So right now we're watching one and Algo as altcoins. We can do a quick flip through these to see if we have anything of interest. Well, this looks good. Aave looks really good. So let's move that up as well. BNB. Well, Wi-Fi, kinda. There's something going on here. Let's move that up. And by the way, guys, you can gain access to these charts. The charts that I have right here. You'll see the one list and the second list. You'll gain access to that one publicly if you sign up to my newsletter. I believe you can. If you sign up to the newsletter, you'll be able to read the latest issue. And there's an issue where I've released the public links to the watch list. So you can just go and check that out if you want to follow the pairs I'm watching live. All right, so one, Algo, Aave, Wi-Fi. Those are the ones we're going to be watching. Going to take a while for these to activate. They're probably not going to be activating. I think we're going to be moving lower. I think Bitcoin is not going to bounce here. I think Bitcoin is going to go lower. Because I do think that the move that we had on Friday with the non-farm payroll and the unemployment rate was extremely over-exaggerated. I think it's unwarranted, right? I think it was just unwarranted, that move, because basically for the market to be bullish, for risk assets to perform well, we want to see all right, so let me quickly explain this, right? So the main story now when it comes to the macro is inflation, right? It's inflation, and it's the Federal Reserve in the US. Like every other central bank, they look at the US and look at the Fed, and they ask, like, what are the Fed doing? Because they have to follow the Fed. If they don't follow the Fed, they're basically going to import inflation. I know this sounds weird. I'm not going to go into detail on that, but it's all about the inflation story. So risk assets like Bitcoin, the stock market, S&P 500, it will rally if there is signs of the US economy slowing down. And if the US economy is going to slow down, there's going to be a sign to the Fed that the Fed can now take a little bit easy with their quantitative tightening. And basically what that means is not hiking rates as much, or actually starting to pause the hiking of rates, the increase in interest rates. So that's the whole story here. On Friday, we had the NFP event, the non-farm payroll, which shows us that there's, the market is actually not doing that bad, right? And unemployment rate. So basically, the unemployment rate and the NFP contradicted each other, but I do believe that the market overreacted to what happened. We had a couple of notes on. I had a couple of notes on that in the group as well. So let's kind of go over. Let's go over that, so you get a good idea of what. Why I think the market will not bounce here, right? So this is basically what I said, right? So the NFP came in higher than expected. Unemployment rate came in higher than expected as well. So it says right here, NFP printing a higher than expected number means there are still strength in the labor markets, right? So the job market is still strong. This is something that the Fed do not want to see. The Fed wants to see a weakening in the labor markets, right? To be able to pause or slow down with the quantitative easing. So this would be bearish for risk asset, as it would signal to the Fed that they should be stubborn and strict with their QT plan, QT being quantitative easing. Unemployment rate coming in higher than expected means more people than expected are unemployed. This is obviously a negative sign for the economy and could be a bullish thing for risk asset, as this is something the Fed would want to see as a signal that the economy is slowing down. So we have mixed signals, right? Unemployment rate says that the economy might be slowing down, while NFP says the opposite. And I think it's confusing. The dollar is dumped very aggressively on that news, but I don't think it's warranted. Like the very small, relatively small change in unemployment rate, I don't think that is as much as the unexpected strength in the job market. Right. So I think what we're going to see now is the market kind of pricing in the NFP. They were all in on this on the idea that unemployment rate was higher, right? So more people are unemployed, but the economy is still strong. The labor market is still strong, and people are making more money. Wages are actually going up, right? So I think if we get a bounce here. If we get a bounce here and we see continuation of this move, it's highly likely that we are going to see a bullish trend for risk assets in the coming weeks. But right now, it kind of looks like the market is now pricing in that NFP after being euphoric because of the unemployment rate. So I think we have to be very careful and wait for confirmation. And this is the type of confirmation that I want to see. Because if Bitcoin actually does this, a break and reaches up to 50, that would be highly bullish for Bitcoin. And if it happens at the same time as the S&P 500 doing something fun as well, let's go to that one. Let's actually look at the S&P 500, because I haven't watched that in a while. Yeah, so this chart is very telling, right? What's happening on the S&P 500? Well, we did have some really nice moves right here, right into resistance. So we're right inside a resistance area here on the S&P 500. Stochastics are very high. You have the daily 20, daily 50. I think it's highly likely that this will act as resistance. Now, of course, I might be wrong, and I don't really care about being right or wrong. I just care about following following price action, just following the money, right? So if you do have a break and retest of this level, I think it's likely that we move up to the monthly open. If that happens, Bitcoin is going to move very similarly as well. But right now, I'm very cautious. I guess you could say I'm cautiously bearish. Like, I don't know. Like, I'm nothing. I'm nothing. We just wait for confirmation. We don't care. We're not bulls. We're not bearish. we're traders, right? And this is a huge difference. Like, we don't care. We only follow price. I don't care. Like, I don't care. We follow price. We're with the confirmation. So that's Bitcoin. And when it comes to the Forex market, let's go through some alerts right here. See, we have something interesting going on in terms of long signals. US 30 not giving us a long signal, but there's definitely some type of strength here, right? There's definitely some type of strength, but if you look at the S&P 500, very clearly going into resistance. You got to be careful. US 30, the reason why I don't like this bounce is because this is the trend. This is the trend, and there's a very clear behavior of this trend right here. So this is the trend. This looks like a break in market structure. This looks like a change in behavior. This looks like something like this. This looks like a new trend forming and a possible range. So I would not be trading this setup based on this trend. Also, if you put fibs on this, you have to put fibs on that low, because that is the obvious low up to these highs right here. And also notice that this, get double highs, double tops right here, and the fib is invalidated here, so not going to be a trade on this one. A density, that's the short we looked at, but there's not going to be any trades. So I mean, there is definitely some interesting stuff going on here, but I can't really see any immediate setup right now. So, but there's definitely like a lot interesting going on. Yeah, man, wow, look at this one. So this was the trade up. This was the last trade I posted in the Trade Ideas channel, and I had to mark this as a loss. I got stopped out. I know some community members did not get stopped out, but I have to be like, for me, like what I could have done is just mark this as a winner. Like, yeah, TP1 get hit, you put stops to entry, and it's a small winner. I could have done that to get better statistics, but I gotta be honest, right? I got stopped out on this one. This is a loser. And the reason why I got stopped out, even though it didn't hit that stop loss, is because when there's the NFP event and when there's a major news event, spreads increase. And the spread, obviously, that's the difference between the buy and sell price. And when the spread increases, if price comes down here, that means that the actual price, the actual fill price would be lower. So I actually got stopped out on that one. So that would be a loss. Now, it's very unfortunate that this happens, obviously, but it's a good learning experience that when there's a major news event and you're at entry, probably better to exit, or at least adjust the stop loss to be sure that you have taken the spreads into consideration. So that's NCD CAD. It's a loser. Actually, last week was terrible. I think we were down, not terrible, like down 2%, down 2R, but still not really. The market has been all over the place. Like, the thing though is last week the analysis were good, the trends moved as we wanted, like everything kind of turned out the way I thought it would turn out based on my analysis, but my execution was just flawed. And these are the things that I really do hope that the members of the community is going to learn and take with them, because I'm not about, I'm very comfortable with my way of trading, and I'm very comfortable with how I'm trading. So I'm not really interested in, I'm not interested in trying to, make myself look good by upping the numbers, statistics, and trying to see like, have a super high win rate and that kind of stuff, right? Because I know that if I make a mistake and we turn that mistake into a learning experience, that's the best type of learning, right? Seeing me make mistakes live and then telling you why I made those mistakes and what I think I have to do to not make those mistakes again, that is the best way of learning. If I make winning trade after winning trade after winning trade, you're not going to learn much. You're just going to be feeling good about it. You're going to be feeling good. I'm going to be feeling good. But then all of a sudden, we're going to start losing. It's an inevitable fact that we are going to enter losing periods as traders. And if we just win and we don't care about, we just live on the good emotions of winning, you're going to be very disappointed when you start losing. And that's the whole thing with trading. You have to really learn from your own mistakes. And I do really hope that stuff like this is educational. I do really think that most people will learn from this. So next time when there's an NFP event, maybe we're just going to stay out in the markets. And the community members know that I'm forward testing an idea. So I'm forward testing an idea where I'm ignoring the news events. So I've created this system as a 100% technical system where I haven't taken into consideration the major news events when entering a trade, but I've actually backtested the idea. And let me show you how you can do that yourself. You can go into settings, trading view, go to events, press economic events on calendar. Economic events on chart, press only future events. No, depress that, we'll remove that one. And you will see down here is the news event. So if you're backtesting your system, you should mark if there's any news event during the time of entry. And I've done that. And I've seen that the profitability is slightly lower. The win rate is slightly lower when ignoring news event, but it's still quite profitable. And it's important because that means that we might potentially just be able to ignore news event. And that's just going to be a game changer. Because some weeks you have major news events that have central bank interest rate decision for multiple currencies in 1 week, and then you have other stuff going on. So this is going to be weeks when it's very hard to trade if you can't enter during major news events. So by having a system that works in all market conditions, in whatever happens, it's going to be removing a lot of stress from trading. Now, the result of this forward testing is a losing week. So if this forward testing continues to give me bad results, I have to rethink the idea of actually trading based on news. But I've only taken about 4 trades. I need to come to a number of like 20 before I can look at the statistics and make a decision on that. I actually have a meeting coming up soon in a couple of minutes. So me and Crypto Forex, which is my colleague, which we're running this RLZ trading together. He's a real champion. He's doing everything in the background. Everything you see happening around here is him doing his magic in the background. So we're having a meeting in a couple of minutes. So we're going to be discussing the trading community, how we're going to let everyone in and stuff like that. All right, guys. Well, would like to thank you all for joining. If you like what I did today, you are more than welcome to send me a DM on Twitter. We're gonna launch this community today. The website is not up, so you can't join or get in via the website. You have to either send me a DM on Twitter, and I will link you to a form you can fill out if you're interested. You can also email support@rlztrading.com, and Crypto Forex will take care of you. As always, I really do appreciate every one of you. You are like, I've seen a lot of people message me that have been following me for since 2019. And they're still following me, and they've learned a lot from me. And honestly, that's why I'm doing this. So when I get messages like that, and I get them quite often, how I've helped people, and they've been following me on Twitter for years, and they're trying to copy my system, and it works great. That is the that's a reason to wake up in the morning. It's a reason why I really do love what I'm doing. So I truly appreciate every single one of you. I wouldn't be here if it wouldn't be for you guys. All right, guys, thanks for watching, and see you guys in the next